Okay, one last go with this. My mother's ancestors are Nordic, Scandinavian, largely Swedish. Nordic people tend to eat a lot of cold weather vegetables. Vegetables are a large percentage of their diet. A lot of cabbage, a lot of Brussels sprouts, a lot of peas, a lot of broccoli, as far as I could find. Information online about a Nordic diet. It was a lot of fish. Some of that is fresh. So when it's fermented, they also eat fermented dairy products as well, and then the occasional game meat. My father is more English and French. The French lineage is a little bit more obvious in my grandparents. Obviously, Scandinavia is a large country. There's going to be differences culturally and regionally in what they eat. So is France. Regions farther north, closer to Germany, influenced by, or more similar rather to German kind of culinary food habits, more sausage type items, more dairy, cream, milk items as well, than farther south, where you're a little bit more reliant, or were more reliant, on seasonal fruits and vegetables, which were also just more available, as well as more seafood, maybe some root vegetables as well. Generally in France, as far as I could find, they fairly poorly, a lot of the country was very poor, did not have access to clean water. That was the case for a lot of Western Europe, as far as I understand. Consumption of pretty large amounts of alcohol. Yeah. I did not get in touch with anybody, my relatives, my parents, my ancestors, to talk about this. I have talked with what they know about their lineage beforehand, and didn't really feel like I was going to gain any new information from doing so. Did not also make any food from scratch, but wanted to touch on how this made me feel. And made me think largely about time constraints. Just started a job, and people work way more hours than me while going to school, and well, not going to school, but made me think a lot about time recently, and all these things that Dr. Miller talked about: going out, cooking food yourself, buying fresh local ingredients, or gathering them if you want to. Getting together with groups of friends. She didn't touch on cleaning, but I grew up doing the dishes a lot, and it does add up to a reasonable amount of time that I know a lot of people would generally like to avoid. Time is money, as the saying goes. And in the article that was, I don't remember the name of I think it was a registered dietitian who wrote it on Dr. Miller's book, The General Effect. She wrote that Latinos, Asian Americans, Native Americans, and African Americans are significantly higher risk of type 2 diabetes, as far as I remember. And apart from Asian Americans, all those ethnic groups are below the median household income level if separated by race. And because of that, they might be working, in my experience, I was trying to make it as a broad generalization, but generally one of the reasons people are poor is education, and they work lower wage jobs, those with less education, and to make up for that, they sometimes will work way more hours or work a second job, but generally that just equates to working more hours a week, and so they're short on time to be able to do all those things, or they just don't see doing those things as super feasible. When you're working 60 or 70 or 80 hours a week, going home and cooking your own food and doing the dishes is not something, even maybe despite the noted effects, even if you're aware of those, it's significantly easier to just go out and grab something on the way home than go back and spend half an hour to an hour, maybe more, once you've done the dishes, doing those things. And I think that's a large challenge for people who tend to make more money. Having money is a significant advantage in life, obviously. And I think particularly when it comes to this, maybe I'm overemphasizing some things and making very broad generalizations. I would love to hear some others' thoughts on this, if I am, or even if I'm not, some others' thoughts. And just wanted to touch on that because I thought it was kind of, I just started the job, so it was kind of, I was thinking about it a lot. I kind of felt stretched thin, so I know that even for me, who has been relatively privileged in terms of financially, in terms of growing up and the support I received from my parents than other people, still feel like it's hard to overcome old habits and incorporate new ones into my life.